Hi friends, good morning. This is your Adithya. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to say to you how to write a program to check whether a number is a strong number or not in Python. Okay, first let's see what's the definition of a strong number. A strong number is a special number whose sum of factorial of digits is equal to the original number. For example, let's assume that the user has given the number 145 as the input. The output will be 145 is a strong number. Okay, now let us see this is the code. First, let's see what's in the try except block. The try except method does what's in the try block, and if it gets any exceptions, it does what's in the except block. Let's see what's in the try block. First, we're taking the input using the input function and storing it in the variable user input. And as we know that taking the input from the input function returns the data type as a string, we're converting the data type into an integer data type using the int function. In another case, if the user enters an alphabetic string like ABC, it will throw an value error exception because we can't convert such strings into integer data types. So we're handling the value error exception using the except method here. So when a value error exception occurs, it will print invalid input. Okay, let's see what else is in the try block. As we know that if the input is less than 1, we can't check whether the number is a strong number or not, so we are validating that using the if-else statement. If the number is less than 1, it will print enter a number greater than 0, try again, or else it will do what's in the else block. We are checking if user input is equal to the return value of the function some factorial each digit. Okay, first let's see what's in this function. We are passing the arguments as user input. The parameters will receive the value and keep them in the variable num. Okay, let's see what's in the function. First, we created a variable called as fsum to hold the factorial sum. Okay, next we are using a while loop to produce each digit. And we are going to use another function in the while loop to find the factorial. Okay, now let's see the while loop using an example. Let's assume num's value is 145. As 145 is greater than 0, it will execute the while loop. And ld equal to num mod 10. Num mod 10 returns the remainder of num divided by 10, which will be 5. So ld last digit's value will be 5. Next we are again giving the value to fsum as fsum whose value is 0 plus the return value of the function factorial. Okay, now let's see what's in the function factorial. We are passing the arguments as LT, last digit. And the parameters will receive the value and store them in the variable digit, which we wrote in short form as dig. Okay, now let's see what's in the function. We created a variable called as result and assigned value as 1. We are going to use this value to hold the factorial. Next, we created another variable called as count and assign the value 1 to it. As we know that the definition of the factorial is the number multiplied from 1 to the number, which the factorial of 5 will be 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, which will be 650. But let's see how we get the count, how we'll get the factorial. We are getting the factorial using the while loop. While count, whose value is 1, is less than did, whose value is 5. As 1 into 1 is equal to 1, results value will be 1, and we are incrementing count by 1. Next time again count's value will be 2. As 2 is less than 5, again it will execute the while loop. Now 1 into 2 is equal to 2, and count's value will be also 2 because count's value will be now 3 because we are incrementing count by 3. Next, again the while loop will execute because 3 is greater than did, and the while loop will execute as long as the condition is true. So now as count's value, which is 3, is less than digit, it will execute the while loop, and again it will multiply result by count. This will happen until the while loop's condition is true. So when it's false, it will break out of the loop and return the variable result, which we are adding to fsum here in this statement. So now fsum's value will be 650. And again we are dividing num by 10 because we need to find the factorial of 14. So now as 14 is greater than 0, it will execute the while loop. Now the last digit will be 4, and it will again execute the while loop until the condition is false. So when the condition is false, it will return the sum of the factorials, which 1's factorial is 1 and 4's factorial is 24 and 5's factorial is 650. So if we sum the three values, we will get the sum as 675. 145. Okay. Now here as we saw, user input equal to the return value of some factorial underscore each digit. Okay. So as 145 is equal to 145, it will print user input whose value is 145 is a strong number. But if the condition is false, it will do what's in the else statement. It will print user input's value is not a strong number. As we know that functions don't execute on their own, we are calling the sum factorial each digit function here, the factorial function here, and the main function at the last line over here. Okay, now let's see the code in action. First I'm going to enter the number which we took as example, which is 145. This prints as expected. 145 is a strong number. Now let me enter a negative number like -5. This too works as expected. It printed enter a number greater than 0, try again. Now let me enter the string ABC. This too printed as expected, invalid input. So program works. Thank you and please subscribe.